Hey everyone, welcome to the Table for Two Season 1 finale, and we are doing this live. That means you can drop your comments, questions, and probably some good-natured heckling right here in the chat, and we'll respond in real time.
Or at least with somewhat of a delay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been such a fun first season. I've had so much fun. When we launched this back in June, we had no idea how much encouragement, laughter, and honesty would come out of this little table of ours. So thank you. Thank you all for being a part of this journey.
Yeah, and we've appreciated every one of you who stopped and told us how much you've enjoyed the show, whether you were a church member, coming down, stopping us in the aisleway or at the back door. Maybe you stopped and said, told us about the show and how much you enjoyed it at a kid's birthday party, or we were just visiting your church for some random event, and it was so encouraging to put faces to people who are listening. And,
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you all so much. And we've got some fun topics lined up, and plus kind of a sneak peek at what's ahead. This is Table for Two.
Through storms and swallowed our noise, church keys in hand, coffee and mugs, our lives held together by grace and a few hugs. They said she submits, we said we both do. It's not about ladders, it's me and you, serving the kingdom in aprons and jeans, laugh lines and calloused hands and holy routines. At this table for two, there's room for you. Pull up a chair, we'll tell the truth from love and faith with the side of faith-filled talk.
So, let's just go ahead and get this one out of the way. We're going to kind of hit on some topics that are happening now, some current events, and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
That's right.
They are officially engaged, and the internet is divided. Half the world is planning the wedding playlist, and the other half is rolling their eyes because who really cares about pop stars and football players?
Yes, which I love football, right? So it doesn't impact me whatsoever. But and we're not here to debate their love life. That's between them and their family members, I guess. But we do have kind of a personal fun story to share with you from our life that kind of connects with one of Taylor's songs, and it's special for us, and it makes Nicole cringe every time we hear it on the radio.
Oh my
so, so back when Nicole and I first started dating, and if you don't know how we first started dating, I encourage you to go back and listen to the first 3 episodes of this season, where we talk about my story, her story, and then our story. And so you can kind of get the backstory of how we got together. But we were dating at this point, but I was still living in Indiana, and she was living in Colorado. Mm-hmm. And my group of friends and I had started a tradition where when one of us had a birthday or a big celebration would happen, we would drive 20 minutes from Martinsville to Bloomington to the Texas Roadhouse. And we would celebrate there, by eating steak and being obnoxious. And, one time we went for my birthday, and it was prom season. And I was trying to convince my younger friends to hit on the prom dates in front of their boyfriends, but that didn't work out. But that one was, we actually got so rowdy that our waitress brought us crayons and coloring books to try and settle us down.
Yeah. But after they were done eating, I got a phone call.
But I don't think this was for my birthday, though. I think this was a little bit later.
No. You came out to visit me, your birthday. So it wasn't your birthday.
Yeah. I don't know whose birthday.
It might have been Travis's.
No, Travis's is in February.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know whose birthday it was or what life event occurred that we felt the need to go to Texas Roadhouse. Maybe we just decided, hey, we need some of those butter and rolls.
Are you sure it was prom? Could it have been homecoming? It could have been fall.
No, it was prom.
Okay.
I very much remember that. But anyway, so for whatever reason, how you end up with those random songs on your playlist on your phone?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of those.
Yeah, well, one of my random songs was the Taylor Swift song, You Belong With Me. And of course, I'm riding in my car full of guys, and that song comes on just about the same time Nicole decides to call and talk to me.
I thought you called me.
Maybe we called you. I don't remember.
Because you guys had a plan.
Oh, that's what it was, yes.
Yes.
So we were on our way back at that point. So we were all hopped up on sweet tea and sweet sugary butter rolls. Anyway, so that song pops on, and we paused it, and we decided we were going to call Nicole, and we were going to serenade her as a group.
Oh, dear.
Singing You Belong With Me. So I'll kind of let you tell it from your...
I can still hear it. There was only one of the group of guys that had any musical ability whatsoever. And so they're serenading me with this song that I had previously liked. And now it's just cringe for me because I only hear their voices. Yeah, they were all tone deaf and they were singing at the top of their lungs. And so even the one who had a musical ability was not singing very well at all. It sounded like chicken scratch.
Yes. We wanted to make sure that there was zero musical ability put on display.
But it was
song.
so sweet.
Yes.
Like I loved it.
So,
but it was so cringe.
yeah, and I'm not entirely sure that the entire group was singing it, encouraging us to stay together. I think some of them even changed the lyrics so they trying to say I belonged with the group of guys instead.
He belongs with me.
Yes. So some of them may have been challenging you by singing that song. So that's kind of our big to do with the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift engagement. See, it wasn't that cringeworthy.
No, but it was definitely something to remember.
Yeah,
it's a moment to remember.
So, go ahead.
And the way that the world though has responded to Taylor and Travis's engagement, it does kind of beg the question, like, why do we latch on to celebrity playlists or celebrity relationships the way we do? Like, what about their relationships is so intriguing to us and makes us want to pay so much attention?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think maybe part of it is because of their status and their money, those things aren't factors in the same way for our relationships.
I guess, yeah, because finances are like one of the leading causes of divorce in our country and probably in the world. I was thinking about the fact that like you really don't see behind the scenes in their relationships. Like you see the big romantic gestures and the sweet moments and the future brother-in-laws trying to pass children to the girl. But you don't see the drama and you don't see the heartbreak until the whole relationship goes up in flames.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other stuff of it too, though, is we using Taylor and Travis as the example. We see them on TV regularly or listen to them on the radio. So in our minds, we've developed what we think they're like based on the small snippets we get of Travis Kelce on the podcast and then or at the podium, you know. And then maybe by his demeanor on the field. Same with Taylor. You develop what you think she's like based on her music videos and things like that. But the reality, though, is those are maybe they're putting out there who they are in those moments, but that's just a small piece of it. We don't actually know who they are behind the scenes. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, as pastors who are always out there in front of people, I understand, like, there's parts of your life you want to keep private and confidential. And but again, it gives us, I don't know, I think that's partially why they fascinate us, is because, again, we think we know who they are and who they really belong with, but just because we listened to their concert or every one of their songs 5,000 times doesn't mean we know them. Just because I had Travis Kelce on my fantasy football team for 3 years doesn't mean I know who Travis Kelce is.
No, you just know that has a skill that you want on your team.
Yeah, and the other thing I'll add to this is every relationship looks different to the people in the relationship than it does to the people on the outside.
Very much so.
So we have to be very careful when we're speaking into someone else's relationship. Now, there are some elements that are the same no matter who we are, but there are some things where the dynamic or the needs are there, but how those needs are met and are figured out are different between people. Because why? We're all made uniquely in the image of God. So the way it's going to play out is going to play out uniquely between any two people that come together into a relationship like that. Yeah. So we have to be very careful to not judge other people's relationships or offer them advice that maybe it's not even applicable to their situation or it doesn't fit who they are.
Yeah. Or make assumptions about their relationship. Like I'm thinking about you and I, and we live in an egalitarian relationship, but a lot of people just assume that I control you, and that is so far from the truth. It's not even. I can't control him.
I'm a lot like our dog Hoosier, right? So we have a dog named Hoosier. He's mostly lab, a little bit of pit bull in him. He's got the lovability of the lab,
the loyalty,
and the stockiness of the pit bull. But one thing I love about Hoosier is when you let him out into the backyard, it's fenced in, but he will check the perimeter of that fence to make sure every gate is shut and every little avenue to escape has been closed off.
Because if he finds a way to escape, he's gone.
Yeah, he's going to test those boundaries, and when he finds it, he's going on a little bit of a neighborhood adventure. So that's what he does.
Sorry, I'm turning your phone on.
Sure.
Yes.
But anyway, so Hoosier will go on these. I'm kind of the same way. Like I'm naturally a person. When you give me boundaries, I'm going to want to push those boundaries. And I asked the question of, okay, why is this boundary put in place?
Yep.
Is it because is it for my safety? Is it just because you've never gone past that boundary before and it's the unknown? Or I don't know. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
So if you tell me not to do something, my first instinct is I'm going to want to do it.
Yeah. So again, I cannot control this man.
Yeah.
We just know how to work together.
Yeah. I'm also the type of person, if you tell me to read a book,
he won't read it. But 5 years later, he'll be like, oh, I have this book.
I'm going to read it
I'm going to read it now that I'm not getting any academic benefits from it as far as like grades. But, hey, entertainment. He read like all of the commentaries we own for fun.
Yeah.
And those are books that a lot of pastors don't like digging into because there's so much information.
Yeah. So yeah, be careful when it comes to other people's relationships.
Yeah.
Don't just judge it by what you see on the outside.
There's more to the story.
Yeah. All right. So next up, so that was our first big mainstream story we want to talk about with you in this live episode. But now the second one is another one. This one's going to make you groan too. And that's Cracker Barrel. And we've all at this point heard about their attempt at rebranding and changing things, right? And we've all got some thoughts about it.
Yeah. Cracker Barrel is one of those places where the food, the rocking chairs, the peg game, all of it kind of blends into this nostalgic vibe. And so the rebranding attempt was a very bold, and I'm gonna just say it, I think it was a stupid move. We have our son, there was one day where we went to the restaurant, and he was so excited about that peg game. Like we sat down and the peg game wasn't at the table, and there wasn't an available peg game. They had taken them all off the tables for that day for some reason. I don't know why. So I had to go into the gift shop. Thank God they have a gift shop, and buy a peg game so he could play it, because it was just one of those days where everything was going wrong for him. And so I was like, we need to do this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite memories of Cracker Barrel is, so we took our 3 kids to Cracker Barrel. One of the reason we like going there is everybody can usually find something they want to eat, whether it's breakfast time, lunchtime, dinner time. And we're a family that eats breakfast foods a lot of the time for dinner or for lunch.
If we're at Cracker Barrel, it's more than likely breakfast.
But I can't remember which kid it was. It was either Ben or Emrys. And we took them there.
And they ordered cereal.
Like, you're at Cracker Barrel. They have pancakes. They have waffles and chicken strips. They
ordered Fruity Pebbles.
They ordered the Fruity Pebbles from Cracker Barrel. It's like, you could have got anything. But you got the Fruity Pebbles. It's like when we go to, there's a really good Mexican restaurant here in Ravenna called El Ranchito. I love the people at El Ranchito. Awesome people.
Shout out to El Ranchito.
But for a long time we would go there when we first got here, and our kids would order the hot dogs or the pizza, or it's like, this is kind of embarrassing.
Yes.
But now when we go to Cracker Barrel, they all order eggs or something like that.
Eggs, shrimp. They order shrimp.
They get the shrimp now. But one of the reasons I think it's funny that we all reacted the way that we did to their rebranding. Oh, did you have another story?
Sorry, I thought you had said El Ranchito, not Cracker Barrel. So.
Oh, yeah, I was going back to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Now. Okay.
But anyway, I remember. I think one of the reasons why that story hits us all so much, especially as pastors, and I think there's a Facebook meme that really captures this. It's that if you're a pastor and you've ever tried to make a change in the church, or Cracker Barrel just experienced what we as pastors experience. Like, now theirs was dramatic, right? They were trying to shift from this nostalgic thing to clean lines and this cleaned up logo.
It was just awful.
Yeah, and so we gotta see the General Republic. General Republic. I serve the Empire. No, I'm just kidding. The General Public. We gotta see how they reacted in real time to this company that we all love, this restaurant we all love eating at. We love the decor and all those things. We gotta see how people responded to them attempting to try something different. So maybe you're a congregation member watching this. Understand if you go to your pastor and say, "Hey, I think we should try this, or we should change this to make it look like this." If your pastor comes across hesitant, this is probably why.
Because the thing, church people respond the same way Cracker Barrel fans respond. It's okay to make a change here or there, but to completely throw out the old and in order to update everything, it does not work out ever. No. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't change.
Right.
Again, Cracker Barrel has changed over the years. They've changed their menu. Not that we ever take part in it, but they serve alcohol now, which was something that they've never done.
Yeah. They sell football cards now, baseball cards.
And so they've made changes, but they've been subtle, they've been gradual, and it's still remaining true to who they are without completely trying to change their identity and make everybody angry. Yes.
Well, and so that kind of hits on one of John Maxwell's laws of leadership. Mm-hmm. And whenever a leader wants to make a change, you can't just go in guns blazing and automatically change everything. You can do that, but when you do that, what you're risking is the backlash that Cracker Barrel had, and so you're making enemies out of people that
were once loyal,
and that people that you want on your team, and that can help you make changes like that moving forward. So what you've got to do is, one, you got to build credibility. You got to spend time building relationships. When I say building relationships, it has to be building relationships for a genuine reason. You're not just building the relationship because you're like a politician trying to.
Pastors should not be politicians.
Yeah. We're not trying to be a politician to garner votes to secure our place
and to make sure that we can get this agenda passed.
Yes.
No,
but you build relationships, and the more you build relationships and you invest in people, and they genuinely know you love and care about them, the easier it is to begin that process of making changes. And it's a process.
And the thing is it's not only a process to begin making changes, but it's also a process to know what changes need to be made.
Yeah.
Because if a pastor in New York City and a pastor in Ravenna, Kentucky have two very different cultures, two very different demographics that they are ministering to. And I could go and look at Pastor Tito's church and be like, they're doing all this amazing stuff and I want to bring it here. And there's nobody here that would receive his ministry style, his ministry methods, as well as where he is right now. But likewise, he could come here and be like, well, I love that you're doing this, or I love that you're doing that, and try to implement it at his church. But if he's not thinking about how it's going to affect, or what the people of his church need and how it's going to affect the culture there, then it will have a negative impact there as well.
Yeah.
But here, our blessing closet is needed. Mm-hmm. The fact that we have people to use our fellowship hall for, on occasion for certain things, like that is needed here, because there's not a lot of venues for gatherings that are safe.
Yeah.
it'd be useless in New York City because there's so many. So it's just, you build relationships so you know what the people around you need and what changes need to be made in your community.
Yeah, and whenever you do feel like as a leader that there's a change that needs to be made, again, you could go in and you could change it on your own, but that might create backlash and pushback for you that's not necessary. What you really need to do is go to the people that you know are leaders, people on your team that really maybe they either understand the people around you better or they can help you, and pitch the idea to them first. Say, hey, what do you think about this? Or I've noticed this. Why is it we're doing it this way, or why does it look this way? What if we try? You pitch it to them first, and they could either help you reform the idea or shape it to fit better, or even let you know this change is just not a good idea, or it's not a change that's going to be beneficial at this moment. And again, I was saying that as someone that has experienced this a lot of times, and it's usually, to me, the changes I think aren't that big a deal turn out to be the ones that are the big deal. I think of the old sermon illustration. There was a young preacher that started at a church in Georgia, and when he got to this church, he looked out front and there was this tree that was dead. Like there was no leaves on it. It was just dead. No life whatsoever. And it was ugly. It was hideous. And week after week, his first month there, he would walk in and he would just see this dead, ugly tree and telling himself, this tree's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. Much like Tracy and I did here with the willow tree out front.
Yeah.
But finally, this preacher one day finally had enough, brought an axe, and he chopped the tree down. Thinking he was doing the church a favor. Right? This tree was dead. It needed to go. It was ugly.
And it was probably going to cause damage down the line.
So he chops it down. Sunday comes around, and he gets stopped by one of the board members at the door. And the board member says, you might as well get your resume ready. He's like, why? And it's because, she's like, you cut that tree down, didn't you? And he's like, well, yeah, it was dead. And he explained his reasoning, only to have that board member tell him, well, actually, that tree was here for a reason. That tree was planted by John Wesley, and you chopped it down.
Yeah.
So, again, it didn't seem like that big. It didn't seem that important, but it held more value than what they knew. Because, again, sometimes as leaders, especially as pastors, we're coming into an environment where we are the new person on the block, right? Nicole and I, when we first got to Ravenna 3 years ago, we were new in town, right? We knew of it, right? I had some pastor friends that served here. We knew of it, but because we not knowing of it and knowing it and experiencing it are two different things. So, again, take your time, get to know people. Not getting to know people for the sake of like a politician trying to manipulate them into getting what you want, but realizing that ministry is never done in a vacuum. Ministry is done as a team. Just much like our marriages are done as a team and a partnership to do things, and that's what the church is meant to do. Doesn't mean everybody serves the same role. It means everybody was working in those roles, working together for the benefit of the kingdom.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you covered it well.
All right. Well, so we've kind of, those were our two big like hot button topics we want to discuss in this finale episode. And again, in this finale episode, if you have any questions or comments or episode ideas, please do us a favor, leave them in the comments. If nobody has any, that's okay. But we're getting ready to gear up for the off season for us. We would love to keep episodes going all year round, but our schedule just doesn't allow for it. Like, as you can tell, we're doing this finale episode on a Friday instead of a Thursday.
Yes. That's because school is getting ready to start up again. Tuesday we had parent night for me and then our two younger children.
Yeah.
And then yesterday was parent night for our middle schooler.
Yeah, so we're getting busy. I'm sure you as parents understand that too. There's just a lot happening right now. So
we're not going to have a lot of time
to do new episodes throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
But we're not completely going away. First off, next summer we're going to be releasing season 2. We'll get more into that here in a minute. But we've got some bonus episodes coming up that you'll want to check out. But in the meantime, and we're going to share about some of those here in just a second, but in the meantime, between now and then, do us a favor. Share this podcast with someone you know, someone you think might benefit from it. Go ahead.
Or if you have episode ideas, things that you would like us to discuss, would like some pastoral input on, or just experienced parent input, you know, let us know. You can post it in the comments. You can send us a message, whatever. Just keep us up to date on things that you would like to hear about. Yeah. So you want to get into the specials?
Yeah. So here are going to be our special episodes that will appear on the podcast. Who knows? We may even do them live. I don't know. But first up, coming up soon we're going to be doing a Halloween special. We're going to be digging into that, whether we as Christians should be participating, whether your kid's going to hell because he dressed up like the Incredible Hulk and went and asked candy of his neighbors or her neighbors. But we're going to be talking about this. So that's one special coming up. And then for Christmas, we're going to do a Christmas special, and we're calling that one Christmas Cringe Stories. And what we're hoping to do with that episode is a little different. Yes, Nicole and I will be a part of it, but we're going to be inviting some of our pastoral couple friends to join us for that episode, so that way we have a group of us that can share our Christmas cringe stories. And so that will be here in a few months. And then when we get towards Ash Wednesday or Lent, we're going to do an Ash Wednesday Lent special of some sort. Kind of one sharing with you, the purpose and the meaning of that season, but also the difficulties that we as pastors face when we go into that season. It's unless you're a pastor, you do not understand the spiritual warfare goes up a notch during that time of the season.
It's crazy.
Time of the year. So
yeah, again, shoot us some episode ideas, some thoughts, even titles if you want. Like maybe you have just like this really catchy title and you're like, I wonder what they would do with this. Shoot it to us. We will totally check it out. Ideas like tattoos or one of the statements I hate the most, the Bible is clear.
Yes. Yes.
There are so many things people will argue and say the Bible is clear about, and it's really not. Like, it really depends on your interpretation.
Yeah.
And
it's not as clear on some things as you think it is.
So
and some of the things Nicole just mentioned, that's coming up in season 2. Season 2, we're going to have 15 episodes dropping next summer, and 3 of them, just like this year, 3 of them are going to drop on June 4th to kick things off.
Yes.
Right, so there'll be 3 episodes for season 2, June 4th, 2026, and then just like this year, we'll continue through the summer dropping new ones. So I hope you're ready for that. Again, looking at things like, am I going to hell for having a butterfly on my body?
Yeah.
And things like that. So, and basically it's going to be more of the same mix of laughter, honesty, and sometimes uncomfortable conversations that season 1 gave you. So, again, yeah.
So, okay. So, yeah, this has been a very special first season. I've had so much fun. And we've laughed a lot. We've shared honestly. And, we've had the chance to hear from so many of you. And it's been such a blessing. I can't tell you how often, or how encouraged I've been with how often people have come up and been like, hey, I've been listening. And I'm like, you have, who are you?
Yes.
That's happened a couple of times where we've gone to different churches or different events. And I'm like, I don't know that I've ever met you in person, but you know me now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And again, thank you so much for listening and for sharing and supporting us. And again, the biggest way you could help us out between this season and next season is share about this podcast with somebody else. If you have friends, invite them to like our page. Over the summer, or over this off season, I do intend to go back through some of the episodes, add some chapter markers and the fancy buttons like that. That we have a little more time to do those things. But just know we'll see you soon for the Halloween special. Sometime in October, we'll be doing that one. But before we sign off from this episode, we're going to do something.
We have a special.
We're going to do something a little different. Instead of our instead of our theme song to close us out for season 1, we're going to hand the microphone over to our son, Ben. Ben's not going to have a script. He's not going to have a filter. He's just going to have pure Ben energy. So buckle up, and he's going to close out season 1 of Table for Two for us. Here, Ben. Just good luck.
Okay.
And I apologize ahead of time for whatever he says.
Did you know the universe is actually a giant Oreo? And also, people don't know what a giant car is, okay? A car, we all know what a car is. But if you didn't know, a person on a car is basically a car. Or is it a part? Anyway, a black hole is used for one certain reason. It's used for one reason. A reason for darkness, but the darkness is not darkness if the light is around it. Anyway, a giant car can be used for one thing. Driving to space, that's physically not possible. The sun, aka a giant fireball in the sky, is actually a giant moon if you think of it, but just hotter. Another thing is, if you use an Oreo and put it in a milk, you might drop it in there. But if you drop it in there, drink the milk and make sure it's there for a while. When the Oreo comes out, just don't use it. And also, another thing, do not use a chainsaw for a I said it wrong. You guys know a chainsaw is not I zoned out. Anyway, a chainsaw is not recommended by dentists, but also the most boringest thing of them all time is looking at the wall. Looking at the wall can mean your eyes could become the wall. Paint covers your eyes. That means you're part of a wall. One last thing. Never, ever look at the moon if there's 2 pieces of the moon. But there's 2 pieces of the moon. Does that kind of count as a giant apple, but just a moon-shaped apple? And then, looking up at the sky is where you see the most weirdest thing. Giant marshmallows. You might call them clouds, but they're actually just marshmallows. You can make s'mores with them. That's how you get marshmallows into the universe. That's what I call the marshmallow world. And also, if you close your eyes, go to a world of strange things, like a giant chocolate river, a marshmallow, crackers, a burrito. I don't know what you're going to be thinking of, but all I think of is food. Anyway, last thing for right now is always be a person. If you don't be a person, I don't know who is a person. Or am I? I don't think I'm a person. This might be my brain. That's the problem. Anyway, always have a good day, and then always make sure you can live right. That's pretty much it.